the kind people over at Gravity Colors decided to send me some paints to test them out for you guys. For US customers, use coupon TSMUSA15 to get 15% off. This video is brought to you by thescalemodeler.com. In the last episode, I applied some gray primer from Gravity Colors. I let that dry for an hour, and now it's time for some BMW Ionic Silver. I will be spraying this with my standard setup, a Harder and Steinbeck 2-in-1 Evolution set at 3 bar or 35 psi with a 0.4mm needle and a Eurotech 20A air compressor. Before applying the first color coat, I just blew off the body with some air to get rid of all the dust. Just like the primer, I had never used this paint before, so a glove test to see how thin it is and how it works. Again, just like the primer, it's really thin, but it covers extremely quick, so you will need a very little amount of paint to get full coverage on the body. I started by painting all the edges and the easy to forget spots, so I don't forget them, and then I will be moving on to painting the bigger panels. It's important to note that I am not being paid by Gravity Colors to say any of these things, and yes, this is actually my honest opinion, and I am actually really positive about these paints. Zero paints come in a 60ml bottle and Gravity comes in a 30ml bottle. Volume wise, you use pretty much the same percentage of paint, but as this is a 30ml bottle, you will use about 4 to 5 milliliters to complete a full paint job on this body. I did 2 coats, and in total I used 5 milliliters of paint. If I would have done this with the same paint but then from zero paints, I would probably have used about 10 milliliters of paint. So you get half the amount, but you will also use half of the amount. Just like the primer, this is also a very thin paint, but it covers really quick, so you need to be careful with applying your coats. It's important to use a very thin coat to get a smooth finish. If you're going to go on a thick coat, it will ruin the plastic, ruin the finish, and will not give you the desired results. So go slow, it covers quick, so there's no need to go with a thick coat. With the first coat now on the body, you can already see that it covered extremely well. I let this dry for 15 minutes in between coats and then moved on to a second coat, just the same thickness as the first coat, because it already covered really quick and it wasn't really necessary to blast some color on it on top of that first coat. Just be sure you didn't miss any areas and get the full coverage you desire. With the second coat now on, achieving full coverage, I let this dry for about 1 hour. Now this is going to be a two-tone paint job, so after 1 hour I moved on to masking and got ready for the second color. If you're not going for a two-tone paint job, you can just go on and clear coat it after 1 hour. Waiting longer would be better, but that's up to you. The paint is dry enough for clear coating after 1 hour. Be sure to head over to gravitycolors.com and subscribe to their newsletter to keep updated on newly released colors. Also, for US customers, use TSMUSA15 as a coupon to get 15% off on your order. In the meantime, also don't forget to check out my online hobby shop, thescalemodeler.com. Also, don't forget to go to our Facebook page to keep updated on some in-between photos and stuff like that. Questions or suggestions, shoot me an email or post a comment, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.